Today, we're going to explore the concept of archetypes. These are models of our entertainment and philosophies. You will recognize archetypes from the images that you see before you, but they appear in literature as well as in movies. So what is an archetype? It's an original model which other things are similarly patterned after. In other words, it's a concept, or it's an idea that is repeated throughout literature, music, movies, etc. It's an image or story pattern, character type, representation, or recurring idea. And it evokes strong association to the reader or observer. It's almost shorthand because you already recognize this type of character. What should I look for to identify archetypes? Well, it's a shared idea with all humanity. It is common to all people, all places, at all times. You will recognize these patterns. It's an inherited part of the human being that we can all relate to. And it's a constant and universal idea. So there are different kinds of archetypes, and the three main archetypes are situational, symbolic, and character. What is a situational archetype? It's an experience that a hero or a character must endure in order to move from one place in life to the next. Actions and events that add to the plot, and a common event seen throughout stories in many different genres, which are types of stories. So, some of the situational archetypes you might recognize would be the quest, where our hero is sent on something that they have to achieve, the task they have to complete, the initiation, where they have to go through certain problems in order to become a member of a society or a group. The journey, much like the quest, they have to take a journey, they have to travel. The fall, where they think they are at the best part of their life and something brings them down and they have to recover from that fall. Death and rebirth. Nature versus a mechanistic world. Think of technology and nature, the natural way of living versus the technological way. Good versus evil. The unhealable wound. There is something that does not repair. It might be a loss of a loved one. It might be the loss of a home that the hero needs to, or the protagonist needs to overcome. Or it's the ritual that is the tradition that needs to be fulfilled from generation to generation to generation. There are symbolic archetypes. They serve as a representation of the specific person, act, deed, or place of conflict. Some of the symbolic archetypes. Now remember, a symbol represents an idea. So you have light versus darkness, water versus desert, heaven versus hell, the magic weapon, innate wisdom versus educated stupidity, heaven versus wilderness, supernatural interventions where the gods decide to take a role, fire versus ice. The most interesting and the type of archetypes are the character, which are the ones I think you're going to find most readily recognizable. It's a person or being that serves as a representative of a greater ideal. Characteristics, actions, abilities, or powers contribute to the archetype characterization. You might recognize some of these. You might have the unfaithful wife, the temptress, star-crossed lovers, damsel in distress, the scapegoat who takes on all the blame of society, the devil figure, the creature of nightmares, friendly beast, the hero, the mentor, young men from the province, that means countryside, initiates, those are people who are starting out at the beginning of society, hunting groups or of companions, loyal retainers, the outcast, the evil figure with the ultimately good heart, and the Earth Mother. So let's take a look at the hero. Traditionally, the protagonist of a story often is passed as a mystery. He is the champion, the king, the leader or savior of many, endures pain and sorrow that all lead to a greater good. You have the mentor, serves as a teacher or counselor to the initiate or future hero, is a role model, sometimes a father or mother figure. You have the Karate Kid's Mr. Miyagi as an example of the mentor. The initiates, young heroes who must endure training, must complete some type of quest. They are innocent and often wear white. In order to become a Jedi Knight, Luke Skywalker must complete his training or his quest. The orphaned hero. A hero is spirited away as a young man and raised by strangers. Later returns home where he is a stranger who looks to find a solution to problems. Superman was an orphan. He had been sent from his planet that destroyed itself, and he landed here on Earth where he encompassed great powers. But he was always an outsider. Hunting group of companions, loyal to the hero. Group willing to face dangers in order to be together. Robin Hood's merry men never abandoned him despite the danger. The Earth Mother is symbolic of abundance, fertility, and knowledge. Offers spiritual and emotional advice or nourishment to those she meets. In the film The Matrix, the Oracle gives spiritual advice to Neo in his quest for the truth. You have the Temptress. She is the one who tempts the hero. She's sensuous and beautiful. The hero is physically attracted to her, but she will ultimately bring about his downfall. From the X-Men comics and movies, Jean Grey and Cyclops fall in love, but she ultimately brings his downfall by turning into the Phoenix and killing him. The Unfaithful Wife. A woman married to a man she sees as dull or boring. Attracted to more interested or handsome men. Commits an act of infidelity. In other words, she cheats on her husband. Helen of Troy left her husband to be with Paris, a more attractive and virile man. You have the damsel in distress. This is the vulnerable woman who must be rescued by the hero. She is often used as a bait to trap the hero. Mary Jane Watson is often being tossed around by villains. Lucky for her, Spider-Man is her boy toy. Star-crossed lovers. These two characters are engaged in a love affair, fated to end tragically. Society, family, and friends do not approve of the relationship. Romeo and Juliet ultimately pay the price for their love through their tragic deaths. Loyal retainers. Somewhat heroic, similar to a servant with hero-like qualities. Duty is to protect the hero. Sam from Lord of the Rings is a loyal retainer of Frodo. Then you have the outcast, banished by society or a social group, destined to become a wanderer, moves from place to place. Until he learns his manners, Hancock is the outcast of Los Angeles. The friendly beast shows characteristics of the hero, finds villains threatening and may attempt to warn the hero. Loyal only to the hero and the hero's companions. Chewbacca, Han Solo's companion, may look scary, but he's really just a big, hairy, heroic baby. The evil figure with ultimately good heart. A redeemable devil, saved by the love or faith of a hero. May have started out good, then through a fall becomes evil, but returns to good in the end. Bah humbug! Ebenezer Scrooge realizes his faults and finds good in the world. Creature of a nightmare. Monster usually summoned from the darkest part of the mind, threatens the life of the hero, often a perverse or desecrate form of human. Summoned from nightmares, Freddy Krueger terrorized teens in the 80s and the 90s in the Nightmare on Elm Street films. The scapegoat, human or animal. Public death is a sin of the community. Death makes him a more powerful force than when he lived. The devil figure, evil incarnate. Offer worldly goods, will tempt, cheat, steal, lie, and destroy anyone or anything he comes into contact with. So here are our lists of the different types of character archetypes that you may find and recognize in your movies that you enjoy. So in conclusion, archetypes are everywhere, but we often just overlook them. They can be found in every book, short story, TV show, or movie. Archetypes represent ideas larger than themselves.